Sure. वैसे भी भेज देंगे, दूसरा वाला है. Okay. So let's say I have a button. Okay. And let's say assign macro. Let's say new. Yes, the button click पे ये आ गया. And let's say add. Okay. So this is it. Now, now let's say I create. Okay. So I create a variable dim, and I say num1 as uh, as integer, right? Okay. So when I say uh, okay, so we'll take a value and we'll try to perform square root of that. Okay. So I'm just thinking we can do user input, or we can read from from a particular cell. So let's say here we put actual, and here we say square root, something like this. So we'll read this 5, A5. So I'm going to say num1 equal to range A5 dot self, okay, dot value, right? So, okay, so let's say we read num1 value. Now I'll calculate, or I can directly say range B5, right? So B5 dot self dot value equal to, okay, SQR, okay, square root of, let's say, num1. Okay, so come here and we say 4 here. Okay, and we click here. We got 2, right? We'll say
Yes.
8, and we got, say, and we hit enter, and we got 2.88, right? But if I give A here, okay, and then I hit here, so you got what is called as type mismatch.
Runtime.
Okay,
Yeah, type mismatch.
runtime error. So in Python also we have discussed runtime errors means errors which happen at runtime, right? In the sense, so we have 3 types of error, right? One is your syntax error, when you give syntax wrong. Let's say if I miss quotation or I don't give quotation, so that is called syntax error, right? And syntax error is easy to find. Okay, then you have something called as logical error, right? I wanted to do square, but I did square root. So so that's a logical error, right? Nobody, it's very difficult to find because because it will not give any error. Then you have runtime error. Runtime errors are the errors which will happen at some certain condition. Okay, so here it was expecting a number, but we gave a a text, a character. Okay, so we got runtime error. So this is an example of, okay, this is an example of uh, uh, like runtime error. Okay, so very specific values it will actually give error. Okay, and the error will depend upon the value that we give at runtime. This is called runtime error. Okay, that we give at runtime. Okay, so this is one. Okay, type mismatch, or let's say I don't enter anything, I leave it blank, and then I try to run it. Okay, so it is getting a default as 0, so that's not a problem. Then let's say I give -5. Now I try to run. See, it says invalid procedure caller argument. Okay, so it's runtime 5, runtime error 5, invalid procedure or argument. So there are some errors which we can handle it. For example, before we find square root, okay, I can say something like this: if num1 is say less than 0, then okay, then I would say um, if okay less than 0, no, this should become when it is not less than 0. So I can say message box, okay, and I can say um, enter only positive numbers or something like this, I can say, right? So and then I can end it here, okay, and I can say end if, right? Now here, now see, one option is that I don't put end if here, I say else, okay, that's another option. So I say else and I put end if here. So if num is less than 0, you get saying that enter only positive number, right? And if I give 4, okay, then it will work, right? So I can give if else, right? Or if you don't want to give else, let's say there are a lot of other things to be done, so you can also say here exit sub. It's a sub procedure, right? Exit sub. So exit sub will end it, okay, your procedure will end, it will not go further down. So here I'm only giving if, and if this is the case, it will end, okay, it will not go to the next line. Okay, this, if this is false, only this range second part will be called, right? So this another way of handling. So if I 4, it's to, if I enter -5, okay, it will give
Message.
okay, error like this, right? And then you can decide, okay, you can what you can do is, generally you can say a5 equal to 0, right? So so there are a lot of, what I'm trying to show you is that there are a lot of things that you can do. So programming is not only about getting things right, okay, the the effort that you put in to get the output is probably 1/3 or 1/4 of the total effort that you put in the program. So 70% or 50% of effort goes into making sure that your program is robust, it's not going to fail, these minor things, okay. So see, 4 lines our code was ready, right, for doing the square root, but it ended up getting almost like 7-8 lines of code, right? We added if condition. These are all things that will make your program better, okay, and it is important to do that, okay. Now we have done it, okay, but again you see that it is still not complete, it is only one uh, okay. So when you're trying to handle runtime error, right, you have to think what all error can come, you have to assume that these errors can come, right? So if you take the same problem here, okay, now I added 0 thing, right? So if it is minus, if you say okay, this will set to 0, okay. So you have to think what all problems can come. So if I'm trying to do a square root, okay, one error is that the person doesn't enter any value, blank. So we saw that in that case it's assuming 0, so our program is able to handle that part. Second error that can happen is that I give negative numbers, user can give negative numbers. So for that you have added a if block, right? Third thing is that user can enter something like non-number. Now in this case our other if the else will will fail, because here we're checking only for numbers, isn't it? In this case we have to add one more if condition to check if the value is not a numeric, right? If it is not then it should even give that error. So again I'm going to write another logic, okay. So I'm going to say if num1, so instead of num1 less than 0, I'll check if it is numeric or not, okay. So I'm going to say if not is a numeric, okay, is numeric, okay, is true, okay. And if I say if not is numeric, that means Okay, if it is not numeric, it will turn out to be true, isn't it? If you if I enter A, it is not numeric, so the is numeric will give us false, and not false will give us true, right? So I'm going to say is numeric of num1. Okay, then okay, so
enter numbers only.
yeah, so I can say enter numbers only.
Numeric values only.
Correct, yeah.
Something like that.
Something, yeah. So enter numbers only, something like that. Okay. So now when I go and if I run it, oops, is there a
And if, I think.
oh, I
And
did not
if.
put end if, right? Yeah. And end if, right? Okay, now you hit enter. Now what happened? Type mismatch is still going. Oh, okay. See, here itself I'm reading it, right? So here, since num1 is integer, okay, num1 is integer, it is this part itself is giving error, right? So what I can do is, okay, there mean multiple options. So what I'll do, I'll cut and I'll paste here, okay, and here what I'll do.
But I'm declaring also number as integer.
Yeah. So, but I'm not going to read it. I'm going to read it later, only if it is numeric. Okay. So I'm directly checking the value here before I assign it to num1. Right?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm directly checking it before I assign. So when I run it, enter numbers only. Okay. And the program will anyway end. So this is one way to do it. Okay. That you don't assign it directly. We read the value. Okay. And we check it. Okay. Sometimes you may not be able to do it. Let's say if you are trying to read from user input or from text box, right? So so in that case, you have to assign it to some variable before you check. So in such case, what we can do is, so instead of declaring num as integer, okay, you can declare something called as variant. Okay, so variant means it can accept any value here, right?
Okay.
Okay, so okay, so now you see when we run A, let's say we do A, enter numbers only, so it is not giving us that error. Okay, it is working fine, right? So -5, you get a message. Okay, enter only positive number, right? So this is how you can handle using if else. Okay, and you have to write if else because uh, you know you have to assume what all errors it can throw, right? Okay, and then you can do it. Okay, there are other ways to also handle it. Okay,
So Python may try and accept statement रहता है.
right. Okay, so here also you have something called as bad entry. Okay, not bad entry, it's called on error. Okay, so on error, generally what we do is we can define a block of code. Okay, and what we say is if there's an error, go to that particular thing. So before we run this, let's do it here. So this is handling error using if conditions, right? Conditions. Okay, and here what I'll do is I will use, okay, I'll give a block name here. Let's say error block, something like that. Okay, now error block, generally if you do error block, everything after that will be called. Okay, so we generally give at the end. Okay, it's like go-to of other programming language. Okay, so I can say here, I can say message box error processing the values. Please retry. Okay, something like this I give. Okay, and now what I'll do is I will say here say on error on error go to error block. Okay, now whenever there is error, any kind of error, it will come here.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say I make it as integer only. Okay, now I go here and I say 5.2. Okay, hit enter. You see, because I have declared as integer, so it is accepting only integer, and we gave a float numeric value. So error processing the values, please retry. It it skipped everything and directly went to the
Error block.
error block. Okay, so this is one way to handle error, right? And you can do you can do you can do let's say if you want to know what kind of error it is, right? So you can define values like, okay, error code. Let's say you can define your error code. Okay, this is one way of doing it. Okay, where I'm defining the error code. Okay, and I'm saying here okay, before that, okay, okay, see this what I'm trying to show is the bad way. Okay, but it works, but it's not the right way. Okay, I can define error code 1, error code 2, okay, error code 3, something like that. Okay, and in the message block I can give a specific message if error code, okay, error code equal to 1, then what to do, right? So okay, equal to, okay, then you can define something. Okay, so here we using error code, you know till what line the program has executed, right? So if error code is 1, then we know that something between this and this, error code 1 and 2, something either this has gone wrong. If it is 2, if error code is 2, that means something between 2 and 3 has gone wrong, right? So that way you can give values. Second way is, okay, we can do it using the error code directly. Okay, so directly error code. Okay, so this what we do is this you can handle it.
Error code 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so error code 1 is really not useful for handling errors. Okay, but let's say you are expecting some specific value for the user to enter and you don't get it. Okay, so see, if here I gave on error go to block, right, and it comes here. Now if error code equal to 1, then let's say I say something and then I say end if, and then if error code equal to 2, then do something and end if. Okay, in this case, see, if you get error code 1, that means this is where we have error code 1 and this is where we have error code 2, correct? So something between error code equal to 1 till previous line has gone wrong. That's what it means, right? If the output, if error code is 2, that means error code 3 has not executed, right? So something between 2 till the previous step of error code 3 has executed, right? Otherwise, if you say 3, okay, and let's say you had 4 here, that means something between 3 and 4 has gone wrong. So error code equal to 4 has not executed, right? So that way you can keep track of what's happening, right? Okay, so this is I mean, we don't do it for handling error code or errors. This is like if you want to track something else, like whatever thing you want to track, in the sense, see, error code will be thrown when there is a runtime error only, right? But this logic, you can use it even if there is no error, right? You want to see which part has executed, which part has not executed, has it completely executed, right? So that's one logic, okay? But if you have a error code to handle, okay, so what we do here, okay, so we have something called as error number and error description, okay? So here in error block, okay, in error block you can do something called as select case error dot number, okay, error dot number. So if you see that, it was like saying runtime error 13, runtime error 5, okay, you can specifically look for error code number. So select case error number, and here I can say case 1 or case 5, okay. So okay, for a minute what I'll do, let me, okay, okay, so I'm going to, I don't want to lose this, so I'll just save it, this part, okay. So range 1, this should work, right? This is what we want to work, okay, and I will save this, okay. Here I'm saying, okay, num equal to a value, okay, and mm, um, on error, I'll go there, okay. So on error, go to error block, otherwise perform range equal to square of number, right? In error block, what I'm doing is I'm giving these errors, okay. So okay, so for a minute what I'll do, I will not use this, and then this is the original program that we had written, right? So let's see the error. If I give 5.2, so okay, this end if without,
and if हटाना है,
yeah.
and if and
So okay, so 5.2 is working, -5. So see, it says runtime error 5, okay, runtime error 5, invalid procedure, okay. So runtime error 5, so runtime 5 error comes 5 error number is 5 when you give negative numbers. So I can go here and okay, I'll uncheck this and I'll say error block, okay, and I'm going to, yeah, select case error number, case 5, that was the error, right, when we did that. So here I'm going to say case 5, okay, and I will give a text here as negative number, okay. So this is the text that I have given, and I'll say resume next, that means continue next, okay. Okay, now okay, so let's run this and see what happens. Okay, select case without end select, okay, we have to do end select as well, okay. So I'm going to say and select, So see, it is handling the error. Okay, right? We haven't done anything. Okay, what we can do here is we can give a message box here. Okay, so message box can be, okay, let's do something like this. Okay, resume next means your program is not ending. Okay, program is continuing. If I do exit, that's when program will end. Okay, so here I'm going to say message box enter. Okay, you have entered negative number. Okay, something like this. Now when I go and click here, oops,
double quotes.
yeah. So see, you have entered a negative number. Message box got executed. Okay, so in this way you can, using the error code also, you can handle this like Python. Okay, so this is the actual way that you handle it, but there are other things that we discussed, like, you know, we talked about other ways of handling error. Okay, so if you have a was error code 13, if you remember correctly. Okay, so when I type this, you get error code 13, right? So I'll go here and I'll say case 13. Okay, 13 not a valid number. Okay, you have entered invalid number. Okay, so now you go it. Oops, what happened? Case 13 I gave here, right? So message you have and select we give here, correct? So right.
Resume next. Every case में आता है क्या? Resume next.
Resume next means when you get this error, then you know you can continue. Okay. Message box have entered invalid number. Select case error. Okay. Case. This doesn't look blue, right? Up blue हुआ. Earlier शायद it was black to me. Okay, debug. Oh, okay. See, no. Error यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है, right? You have to do the on error. So this error is happening before on error block.
Okay.
You have to do it here, right? It's like a trap block. You have to put it inside the trap block, right? So now you have entered invalid number. So error, you know, so we do not put under the what do you call, on error, right? We did before
the on error, before the error block.
Yes.
Otherwise, the solution is we can define dim num1 as variant.
Exactly. So in that case, variant it will accept.
Okay.
Okay. So yes. Okay. So there is one more. If it is default, let's say some other error has come and you have not handled it, right? So in that case, you have something called as case else. Case else. So in case else, I'll say any other error. Okay. So you have case else, and here you can define message box, msgbox message box. So first we'll give the error number. So we will say error dot number. say we give, or we can give error number and error message, right? No, error of error dot number. Okay, so this is like so what we'll do is I'm just going to remove this 13. Okay, assume that we have not given 13, then it should go here. Let's see if okay it goes here. See, 13 type mismatch. So 13 is the error code and message is this. So so this, if you have not handled any other error, then it comes here. So I'm going to say something like this: error occurred, okay, error number and error message. Error of error number will give you the error message. So this is how we can handle the error using error code. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll add the other code here so that when I share with you, it will be all together. Button to click. Okay, let's say we do that, and I'm going to yeah, and this is handling the error code using error. This is the real way of handling in runtime error. Okay, but other technique can use it for your specific kind of error, right? Say if you don't want value to be more than 50, now you don't have runtime error for 50, right? Okay, but you want to restrict it, it should not be more than 50. So then you can say if greater than 50, okay, this. So if it is runtime error, you can use the error block and say select case. So using case, you can handle it. But if you want to introduce your own error component, then you can use if else. Right?
Okay. ये जो केस स्टेटमेंट है विदाउट एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग भी हैंडल कर सकते हैं क्या?
हाँ, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
Okay.
Select case. Now here the select case error number. So the error number goes into case. Now you can say case 5, case 13, right? So somehow the value should get into case, and then you can handle it without. Okay, this one.
Okay, yeah. So it's a kind of multiple if statement, right?
Yes. Python also got newer version of Python. The Python 3.11, I think, got released in October and November first week. So Python में भी आ गया है case.
अच्छा, उसमें भी आ गया. Okay.
There before November it was not.
आप कैसे अपडेट रहते हो कि क्या नया आ रहा है?
See, I have subscribed to a few blogs, so these guys
Which
will
blogs
write.
you are following?
I just randomly. Okay, those not any specific blog. So these days, whenever they post some new comment, right, you get a message that this. Or since I teach also, right, so I need to keep track.
Okay, क्योंकि मैंने भी बहुत सारे ब्लॉग को किया हुआ है. I didn't see that thing. Okay.
Okay.
एक Python weekly करके रहता है.
Okay. But mostly, क्योंकि teaching में हो तो I need to keep track of something.
Yeah, you have to
Student
be
will say we
update
can do
also.
case in Python. I say no, you can't do case in Python. And then you say this is how it is done.
Yeah.
You don't want to get into that situation.
Yes, for sure.
So at least even if you don't know how to do it, you should know that it's been there, right? So that when somebody says, you can say yes, you can do it, but maybe I don't know now, or we can do it later, something as such. So if you say no, it is not there, that's embarrassing, right?
नहीं, Python तो ऐसे बहुत पावरफुल हो चुका है.
Oh yes. Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll see the kids come in. I'll ask them if they have any doubt. Otherwise, we'll start with functions for them.
Okay. So मुझे 10 minutes दो, मैं उनको देख
Sure, sure.
उठे 10 minutes.
Sure. No
And can you
problem.
send me the script also for this
Yes,
one?
yes. I'll send you the script and the recording.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.